Hi, my name is Katie Plosica, and the scientific topic we'll be going over today is from a Science Daily article that was posted a few years ago that talks about pollution in the Gulf of Mexico. To summarize the article, back in 2010, there was an explosion aboard the Deepwater Horizon oil rig, which spilled hundreds of millions of gallons of oil and natural gas into the Gulf of Mexico. Since then, there have been hundreds of peer-reviewed papers covering the incident and dozens of research expeditions in the southern United States, Mexico, and Cuba in order to test the toxic levels of the Gulf itself. This record-breaking oil spill in the Gulf has caused several different issues, including aquatic pollution, disruption of water and nutrient cycles, lack of photosynthesis, and has decreased the biodiversity that occurs within the area. This oil spill is decreasing biodiversity by poisoning all marine life that are living within the Gulf, as well as their predators such as birds, which are consuming the same toxins that are found within these oil spills that are occurring in the body of water. So a few things about how it relates to this course is the oil that's been spilt on the Gulf is considered a non-renewable resource, meaning that once it's been spilled and once it's been used, and you can't replace it, you can't get more of it from its source. It's just gone. It's just not coming back. It decreases the sustainability that we have within the ecosystem of the Gulf by blocking out solar energy from reaching the body of water, decreasing the biodiversity that I've mentioned before, where the oil itself just becomes extremely toxic to all of the fish and any other organisms that are a trophic level above the marine life, which also includes plants as well. And it also tends to disturb the nutrient cycles, which helps bring materials to the body of water and just move throughout the biosphere, which also influences food webs, consumption, and productivity. But it doesn't just negatively affect our environment, but there's also some economic factors that go into it as well. Since all of that oil has been spilled, there's now a lack of supply from the companies that had to transport all of that oil, which means that they're not going to be able to make as much of a profit. And for the consumers, the social outcome that this incident has is the fact that they're not able to obtain as much of this resource for generating heat or electricity that people need to power their homes. However, seeing how much of that oil had to be shipped over several different places around the area tells us quite a bit about the consumption overpopulation problem that we've been facing for like the last decade or so, a little longer than that. And this might put us at risk of going through what is known as an ecological tipping point, where we're no longer able to have the kind of behavior in our natural system that we had before. And here I just pulled up a couple of graphs that were from the Science Daily article. The one on the left tells you about how the oil spill itself has affected different processes of the water cycle. And the picture on the right here, well, I guess it's more of a picture than a graph, but it basically demonstrates about how all of that oil can block solar energy from reaching the body of water. The toxins that are in the oil don't just affect the nutrient cycles themselves, but because those patches of oil are blocking out solar energy from reaching those bodies of water, any aquatic plants that have been inhabiting the area can no longer go through the process of photosynthesis, and therefore those plants die, and all other trophic levels that were above those organisms start to die off as well from starvation. Now, now here we have some restoration plans that vary between the states on what they're proposing that we do in order to clean up all of these oil spills within the Gulf of Mexico. So for Alabama, for example, they've been attempting to restore and conserve all habitat and protect wildlife, as well as enhancing some recreational opportunities, restoring water quality, and restoring habitats on federal lands. And in Texas, they've been planning on restoring wetlands along with any other coastal habitats by reducing all non-point source pollution and restoring resources that are injured by oil spills that include marine wildlife. Now, obviously, there are some pros and cons to each of these restoration projects, so I just decided to generalize it with all of the benefits and costs to them. And how these projects will benefit is that it'll secure biodiversity in the geological area, it'll improve nutrient cycling, and it'll increase resources for communities that happen to be living nearby. And the only major cost that I can really think of when I was reading this article is the fact that these projects cost millions of dollars to fund the research and often need billions of dollars to afford the plan themselves. I have the list of citations right here, so I hope you enjoyed listening to this article, and I hope you're enjoying about how this connects to this class. So thank you.